Negosyo takes the floor with guests that open every door.
Hello, hello, hello. It's exactly 4 p.m. So, hello, beautiful business-minded people. How did you like our music? Yeah, for the first time, we were playing our own jingle. I hope that you liked our music today. Okay, so how many times have you heard business owners say these words? I don't have time. There are so many problems in my business. Some say, I don't know how to run my business without me always being there. Now, maybe some of them are even feeling this way right now, right? What if I told you that the most successful business owners are not the ones who are constantly putting out fires? Instead, the most successful business owners are those who have built systems that allow their businesses to run smoothly without their constant intervention. I'd like to say welcome to everyone. Welcome again to another episode of our Meet My Mentor series. I'm so excited to have you all here today. And we have to speak in pure English today. I hope you're noticing that it's no longer Taglish just for today because our guest does not understand Taglish. Alright, so for those who are meeting me for the first time, I'm Mommy Negosyo, but like my coaching clients, students, and mentees, you can call me Mommy and for short. I'm a retired business owner of many businesses. Among them, I was a franchisee of Chowking for 18 long years, a licensee of STI College in Zamboanga City for 28 years, and an owner of computer repair shops, pension houses, and jewelry stores. And now, in my retirement, all our businesses have been passed on already to my kids. And I am now a full-time author, online business mentor, coach, speaker, and also a course and content creator. My mission is to help and guide Filipino business owners like you to grow your businesses more easily and faster. So this is why we have free videos and programs like this. And what makes me happy is to share with you all the lessons that I have learned in my more than 40 years as a businesswoman, so that you don't have to go through the pain, the tears, and the hardships that I went through. So, if you want first dibs on these lessons, remember to subscribe to our free newsletter and starter kit and sign up at mommynegosyo.com for lots of freebies and free resources. Remember that you get them at mommynegosyo.com. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about something that has been bothering many business owners. A lot of business owners have been asking me. They've been saying, how do I stop constantly putting out fires in my business? And how can I start focusing on growing my business and scaling? Actually, many business owners feel trapped in their operations, constantly solving problems instead of leading their businesses to new heights. And the truth is, without the right systems and mindset, scaling becomes nearly impossible. I know because I was in the same boat many years ago. I was struggling as I went from one mentor to another, looking for answers. And it was a very, very big blessing when I met our guest at the National Achievers Congress in 2018 when he came to the Philippines, and I heard him speak for the first time. And it was there that we saw from his presentation that finally there is a way for us Filipino business owners who have been fighting fires. There is a way for us to have our business breakthrough. Now, his talk addressed exactly at that point what I and our businesses needed. And so right there and then, I signed up, and I even brought my whole family, all my children, to his PACE program. And it was his PACE program that showed us a way out of our difficulties, especially with our big headache, the growing pains that we were having with our people, managing a very, very big team. So last January of this year, when I heard that he was coming again to the Philippines, I was so excited, and I invited him to be our guest today so that you can learn from him as well. So, without further ado, allow me to welcome the mentor, not only of myself, but also of my children, our teacher, my teacher and my kids' teacher since 2018 until today. Teacher, Mr. Rajiv Talreja. There he is.
Hello, hello, hello. So nice to see you. It's so nice to see how you've been able to build this powerful community of business owners and inspire so many business owners. So thank you, Mommy, and for doing what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Teacher Rajiv. Thank you so much for saying yes to joining us today. So,
Mine.
so Teacher Rajiv, I'm going to ask you some questions first, and then we will get questions from our viewers. Is that okay?
Perfect. Works for me really well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will start the questions now to save time. So my first question to you, Teacher Rajiv, is yes, let's start with how it all began. So can you share with us how you started as a business owner? Did you really choose to be a business owner? And also tell us how you became a business coach in India.
So I am not a business owner by choice. I'm a business owner by force. My father was a retail business owner. He used to have multiple retail stores in electronics and mobile phones. And growing up in a retail business family, the expectation was that after my university time, I had to spend time in the evenings at the retail store. So that's when I got exposed to business. And my goal was initially to start something of my own or to take up a job, but not to work with my father because he was an extreme control freak. So I used to get scared of being around him. So I was looking at getting a job. I thought that would be the easiest reason to escape the family business. And I did get a job, but then my dad tore my offer letter. He said that you will not take up a job, you will start your own business, start anything of your own. And prior to that, for 2 years, I had built a youth organization in my university with 5,000 interns across 3 cities in India, where we used to do monthly training programs and workshops for young college students to help them focus on their career. So that's why my exposure to training began. That's when I did certifications in human behavioral sciences like NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, in results coaching, in executive coaching. So I had an inclination towards performance coaching, and that's how I started first working with college students. But when my father told me that I need to start my own business, I decided to set up Quantum Leap as a corporate training company. And for the first 10 years, I did a lot of corporate training and corporate coaching projects in India, worked with some of the biggest brands here in India. And then after that, I decided that I want to work with business owners because that's where the true impact lies. Like if a business grows, a family is happier, a country grows. So I truly believe in that. And that's how I got into business coaching.
Oh, wow. So it looks like I was laughing when I heard that you were a business owner by force and that you wanted to escape the family business. I hope my kids did not think the same way. Anyway, it's very evident that training and coaching are really basic building blocks of your passion. Yeah. And I did not know that QL, Quantum Leap, went as far back as then. I thought it was just a new company.
No, we are 18 years in the space of training and coaching now.
Wow. Okay. So talking about training, I mentioned already let the cat out of the bag, that we, my whole family, are beneficiaries of your PACE program. Every day until today, our employees are realizing their dreams because of what you introduced in your PACE program. So I'm wondering why you decided to bring your business PACE program again to the Philippines. How did it start? Why did you think of bringing it to the Philippines in 2018? And why are you bringing it back here again? Are there any good things that you see in us Filipino business owners that made you want to work with us?
So my interactions with people from the Philippines actually started in the Middle East, where I saw a lot of people from the Philippines working in the Middle East. And I always felt that there is a lot of similarity between Indians and people from the Philippines. I think in both our countries, family is very important to us. We are both considered as developing economies in the world. Both these countries have a very strong religious and spiritual foundation. And both these countries have people who tend to leave their own country to find opportunities outside so that they can give back to their own family back home. And I feel that countries like India and the Philippines have a massive opportunity for entrepreneurship, for business growth, where micro, small and medium enterprise businesses can create jobs, where people who are job seekers can become job creators. And that was the driving force that brought me to the Philippines for the first time, because I saw a lot of similarity between India and Philippines. I saw a lot of similarity between the hospitality, the warmth, heart of the people of India and the Philippines. I felt these are two very similar markets, two very similar characteristics of people. And I also felt that there was a commonality even in our weakness. And our weakness, I feel somewhere, is underconfidence. We are capable of doing a lot more, but we tend to underplay our abilities as Indians and people from the Philippines. And we tend to look for answers outside, whereas the capabilities we have itself are good enough to make our nations great. So that was the reason I decided that beyond India, if there was a country I'd like to explore working in with business owners, would be the Philippines. And that's how I landed up in the Philippines, I think, for the first time towards the end of 2017 and then 2018 and 19 again.
Thank you. That perspective is really interesting. I see that we are the best workers all over the world, right? Where you go, there are Indians and there are Filipinos, and we are the best workers. But yes, we can also be the best entrepreneurs, right? And I see that a lot coming. A lot of Filipinos starting to be known as very good entrepreneurs, just like the Indians as well. Okay, so yes, there are many similarities. And I also see that most Indians would want their children to become doctors and other professionals, and not really business business owners, right? Just like us.
Yeah.
So a lot of us are also here in the Philippines, a lot of us, including myself, we are running small businesses without any business school training. So what do you think, Teacher Rajiv? What would be a main change in thinking do we have to make so that we will stop putting out fires every day and start growing our businesses, considering that we do not really know much about business, about running businesses?
So the way I see it is every person starts their business with a lot of hope and optimism. There's a lot of anticipation that the product or the service you're going to take to market will be accepted and well received by everybody. But the challenge that I see most business owners fall into is the trap of doing everything by themselves. They end up becoming control freaks. They are the one who are doing sales. They are the one who are doing operations. They are the one who are doing marketing. They are the ones who are taking care of accounts and finance. And they end up in this trap out of two reasons. Number one, they feel that hiring is going to be an expense and they want to avoid that expense. Therefore, they end up doing everything by themselves. And number two, even the ones who tried to hire, because they've not been able to hire the right people, and even after hiring, they've ended up doing the work that their team members were supposed to do, then they feel discouraged by the idea of hiring. So I see a lot of business owners get stuck in this trap of doing everything by themselves, and therefore the business doesn't grow. It stagnates at a certain level, and the focus of the business owner just becomes about how can I make enough money to pay salaries on time, or to pay rent on time, to pay credit card bills on time. So it becomes a game of monthly survival rather than growth and expansion. So being aware that this mindset of doing everything by yourself, being aware that the mindset of hiring will increase my expense, but not really understanding that hiring is an investment. When you have awareness on these two aspects, and then you're open to building teams, you're open to setting up systems, you're open to marketing your business, that's how you can come out of that trap of survival and that trap of self-employment.
Thank you for that, Teacher Rajiv. Right. What I'm hearing is everything really starts with an awareness, right? Awareness of the change in mindset that has to happen. How to look at hiring as not an expense. And also, I can say this from experience, that hiring, the reason why we're frustrated in hiring, it's because we have not been doing it right. And I'd like everyone to know that we started hiring correctly after being in the PACE program of Teacher Rajiv. So I'm very excited for you to be able to attend the PACE program and even the Business Breakthrough Seminar. That is a 4-hour seminar and it's gonna be given for free. But we will talk more about that later on. Now, let me go to my next question, Teacher Rajiv. I heard you also once had a lot of debt when you were starting with your business journey. So what were the key steps that helped you move from solving your daily crisis to growing your business in a planned, systematic way? How did you get there?
So I ran an outsourcing company, which a lot of Philippines people can relate to, because India and Philippines again are the outsourcing capital of the world, where largely American companies or European companies outsource their back-end call center operations to us. So I used to run an outsourcing business, and I went through a significant financial loss, which landed me up in a debt in 2012. And at that point of time, I would be a liar if I sat here and said that I was extremely motivated and I was extremely focused. When I went into debt, I wasted my life for 2 years playing the role of a victim. I was blaming the client who defaulted on payments. I was blaming my business partner who did not do his due diligence. And I was complaining to myself about how life is unfair, how people are unfair. And for 2 years, I got sucked into my own victim consciousness. I got sucked into the drama of feeling like this sincere person who was let down by negative people. And that's when I realized that if something has to change, the change has to start from me. And therefore, after 2 years of wasting my life in victimhood, I decided to rebuild my business by rebuilding myself. And the step I took was I went across India. I interviewed 300 business leaders across India to understand what is the psychology, what are the best practices, what are the systems to build a successful, scalable business. Those interviews became a learning journey which changed my life forever. That's when I realized that our business is a reflection of our capabilities and our mindset as a business owner. And if we are not getting the desired result, it's because our capabilities and mindset are not in alignment with the result we aspire for. So the focus is not about chasing results or chasing money. The focus needs to be on building one's capability, building one's skills, building one's mindset. So those 300 interviews changed my life. I published my research from those 300 interviews into a book titled Lead or Bleed. I did not expect the book to do much. I had done the book purely as a learning project for myself, but the book went on to become an Amazon bestseller worldwide in 4 different categories, because so many business owners resonated with with what I had broken down as steps and strategies and systems and traps in the book. And that's when my life again transformed, where a lot of business owners reached out to me saying, can you help us implement the system that you teach in this book in our business? And that's how I started doing my signature program, Business Pace program, since April 2016. So it's been 9 years now since I've been teaching that pace system to business owners across India, across Middle East, across Southeast Asia. And that's been my journey of transformation. So it boils down to working on yourself rather than blaming the world. That's the way I see it.
Wow, those are really practical steps. Okay, so for our viewers who are watching, so Teacher Rajiv did not start with a very rich life. He started with debt because he made some mistakes. Just like us, he made mistakes in his businesses. But then, just like us also, sometimes we just wallow in self-pity, in playing victim, blaming other people, just wallowing in the drama. But at a certain point, if you are there now, if you are there where he is or he was and where I was, then maybe it's time for us to really start and make a decision that change has to start, and change has to start with us. So all it needs is a decision. Those are the steps that my teacher Rajiv expressed to us, and those are also the steps that I went through. Okay, so the decision to rebuild self, the decision to learn from people about what is the difference between those who are successful and those who are in debt. So it is composed of psychology, systems, and mindset. That is why I do what I do. I try to make people realize that it was mindset who changed that I started with, so that I could have the change that I had to go through. Okay, so it's the same story with teacher Rajiv. It's the same story with so many people who have failed before but who are now successful. Okay, let me ask the next question then. Teacher Rajiv, from working with all of these small businesses across Asia, Middle East, and also in India, what common problems stop business owners from growing? And how does the Business Pace program help fix these problems?
I think there are 3 common problems that stop a business from growing. Number 1, not able to hire and build the right type of teams, because your hiring can either make your business or break your business. You can have a great quality product, you can have a great quality service, but if you don't have the right team, all your plans fall flat on your face. So I believe people management, right from hiring to developing your existing staff, to doing salary appraisals in a scientific manner to retain talent, to even firing the wrong people. So that is one section. People management is one critical area. The second critical area that stops a business from growing is business owners getting stuck in day-to-day firefighting, because of which they don't have the time and energy to focus on growth and expansion strategies. So beyond people management, the second area that I would highlight that a business owner needs to take care of is strategy management. You need to answer the question of what are going to be your strategies to scale? What are going to be your strategies of growth? How are you going to be increasing your profit margins? How are you going to be increasing your cash flows? How are you going to be improving the consistency of your sales? How are you going to design a business model that can scale and make sure that it reaches a point where it does not need you? So the second focus area that a business owner needs to pay attention to is strategy management. And the third focus area where a lot of business owners fail and make a big mistake is that they don't set up the business functions in their business. Only doing sales meetings and only servicing your customers with the products and services you offer is not business. That's a trap of self-employment. Any business to reach stability and success needs marketing to happen consistently, so leads come in consistently, needs sales to happen consistently, so revenue comes in consistently, needs operations to deliver value for money to the customers and operations to deliver a happy experience to customers, needs accounts to happen on a timely basis, human resources activity to happen on a timely basis, and an overall management system. So to set up marketing, sales, operations, accounts, human resources, and management, the business owner needs to play the role of figuring out the strategies, setting up the systems, and then bringing in people. A lot of business owners don't learn how to set up marketing, don't learn how to set up sales, don't learn how to set up operations, and they just play the game of sales and operations and end up in firefighting. So if I have to boil down 3 mistakes to avoid and 3 things to do in a business, I would say people management, strategy management, and functional management. People management is for hiring and retaining talent. Strategy management is for growth growth and expansion. Functional management is to set up all the activities so that you have consistent results. These three things, if a business owner does, you will not make the mistake of struggling in the trap of self-employment.
So what I'm hearing from you, teacher Rajiv, is that the mistakes is business owners are in the trap of just doing everything by themselves instead of focusing on managing the people, hiring the right team, and also working on the strategy management, which is creating strategies in business, and also functional management, which is setting up all the business functions like marketing, sales, everything. I think there are 7 aspects that they have to focus on so that everything will be running consistently. Did I get it right, teacher?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. And I have my 6th question now. And here I would, as you mentioned, teacher Rajiv, we Filipinos are in many ways like Indians, especially as business owners. We also put our families first while also wanting to grow our business. So can you share with us how the business-based method can help us do that, grow the businesses while without missing our very, very precious family time?
So the way I see it is that, the challenge with most business owners is that nobody is given us a structure or a framework on how do we get the best returns and the best results from our business. And therefore, what ends up happening is when we start a business without a structure, without a framework, we get sucked into doing everything and we get used to just ignoring all other areas of our life because we have the stress and pressure that I need to make my business work. And in that entire process, I've seen business owners compromise on their time with their family. I've seen business owners compromise on their personal health and well-being, their mental health as well as their physical health. I've seen business owners also compromise on their personal finances, where either they're not making money from the business, or even if they're making money from the business, they're putting all the money back into the business and not creating personal wealth in the form of investments and assets for themselves. So the idea and the intention of the business-based system is to give a structured system, a step-by-step system for business owners to implement. It's not a motivational program. It is not a philosophical program. It is a step-by-step actionable system on how do you create holistic goals, how do you hire the right people, how do you develop the capabilities of your existing team, how do you appraise salaries of your existing team in the right way, how do you activate marketing, sales, operations, accounts, human resources in your business in a step-by-step manner. Even if you don't have the money, in what direction do you start working? So everything in the PACE system is an actionable, implementable process for business owners to follow so that they can get out of firefighting, get out of this burnout and fatigue game, get out of stress and anxiety, and design their business and their life in a manner which is holistic and fulfilling for them. That is the basic outcome of the business-based system and the business-based program.
So it is really the how to start where you are and how to get to where you want to be. So yes, I would really agree because I have been in different 3-day programs here in the Philippines, and I'm sort of disappointed because when I attend those programs, it's a lot of games, a lot of fun thing. And at the end, when you analyze it, you just realize that there are things that you have to do, but you do not know how to start or where to even start. But in the business phase program, we really came out with a manual that has everything step by step. And it's really, really something that you can already apply right away. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I also talk about the business breakthrough seminar, and I feel that you are so generous to be giving it for free. Imagine 4 hours of business breakthrough seminar. So what can they expect when they attend the business breakthrough seminar, and how does it compare to the business pace program?
So the way I would see it is that business pace program is the movie. Business breakthrough seminar is the trailer of the movie. So in those 4 hours at the business breakthrough seminar, the first thing I do is I help the business owners who attend that seminar do an assessment of their business, because you need to understand where your business is. So I introduce them to the 7 foundational activities of building a business so that they can evaluate which one of those 7 activities are happening consistently in their business and which one of those 7 activities are not consistent in their business, because of which there's a lack of stability, or because of which there is lack of profitability, or because of which there is lack of clear growth for the business. So in the business breakthrough seminar, we first do an assessment of the 7 functions of the business. Then from there, I help business owners understand what is their role in the business. Where should you as a business owner invest your time, effort and and energy in your business so that you get the best returns for yourself. Once we define their role in their business, then I tell them what are the 3 key changes they have to make to be able to build a business which can grow without them. So I tell them the solution in the business breakthrough seminar on what are the 3 changes to make. Then from there, if they want the support and the learning to create those changes, to create those systems, that's when I invite business owners to come to the 3-day business space program, because a 3-day business program is not just learning, it is learning with co-creation, where in those 3 days of the business space program, you will create your hiring process, you will create your people development system, you will create your appraisal system, you will create your goal setting system, you will create your firing process, you will create your systems for activating marketing, sales, operations. So the co-creation happens at the PACE program, the analysis and the solution happens at the business breakthrough seminar. So that's the difference between the two.
Wow, now it's clear. Okay, so for those who did not, who would want it to be explained further, sometimes it's easier if it's a Filipino who is explaining it in Taglish. So the business breakthrough seminar, the link is actually there in the chat groups. Yeah, in the chat. So you can click on them and you can sign up because it's 4 hours. Just set aside 4 hours of your life and invest in learning from my teacher Rajiv. And it is for free. Okay? Invest 4 hours and I promise you, you will learn. You will finally see a way out of the roundabout thing that you have been doing for years, because that was what happened to us. Everything was breaking at the seams and we did not know what to focus on. And when I attended the business breakthrough talk, which was only I think for 1 hour that time, but now it's 4 long hours. So teacher Rajiv really was so generous in giving it to us. Okay, so 4 hours of assessment, meaning to say we will now find out where are we really failing and how should we even start, where should we even start. So the assessment will tell us, and the assessment is not for everyone. I mean, the results are not uniform for everyone. The assessment is for everybody to take so that you will know the peculiar problems that we are facing and how we can start solving those problems. So yeah, no, parang it's just a diagnosis of what is really wrong with you, and therefore what are the first few steps that you should take. Now, if you want to learn more, then that is when we can enroll in the PACE program. The business PACE program is a 3-day program live. Teacher Rajiv will be flying in and I will be attending that one. I will be learning with you again. I will be reviewing the business PACE program and I'll be there to learn what is new there. Maybe there's something new that can be more helpful this time. Okay, so yeah, the BBS, the Business Breakthrough Seminar link is there. Also, the PACE program, the Business PACE program, which will be held live from May 2, 3, and 4 will be, the link is also there in the chats. Okay, so I guess we have explained the BBS and the Business PACE. So it's time for us to address the questions that we have from our audience. So you can ask the questions in Taglish and I will try my best to translate. Okay, so let me go through the questions. Jen is asking, Teacher Rajiv, what are the tips in hiring the right people?
So when it comes to hiring, the first thing that you need to do as a business owner is never ever hire for titles. Hire for the tasks you expect that person to do, which means what? Say if I'm running a business which sells this water bottle, right? If I just say to myself and I put out an ad and I talk to recruitment consultants and say, I'm looking for a marketing executive. Now my definition of a marketing executive, maybe I'm expecting someone to join my company and go out there, make cold calls to large corporate companies and sell this water bottle in high volumes for all their employees. So my expectation may be telecalling. But if I just say marketing executive and there's a candidate who applies for that job, assuming that their job is going to be of marketing on social media and they have to just put posts of content on social media, there is a misunderstanding in titles. You always detail out the tasks. List the step-by-step activities you expect the person to do when you get them to join your business in a particular role. Once you've listed the tasks, for each task, list out what is the skills required, what is the knowledge required, what is the mindset and attitude required to do that task well. So that list of attitude, skills and knowledge then becomes your evaluation sheet. You then understand that these are the capabilities I'm looking for in an individual. A big mistake a lot of people make when they sit for a job interview and there's a candidate in front of them, they don't have a clear list of capabilities that they're looking at evaluating in the candidate. Just because a person speaks well or is confident or dresses up well, you can't assume that that person is talented. Based on the job role, based based on the tasks and activities, you need to understand what is the attitude, what is the skills, what is the knowledge required. And then you got to prepare the questions you will ask in the interview, the tasks and assignments you will give in the interview, the tests or examination you will take in the interview to evaluate that attitude, skill, and knowledge. That's when you will have a high quality screening. Most business owners don't do this because they don't have a hiring process. And that's why I tell them that on the day 2 of the PACE program, we help you create this hiring process for your business.
That's in the PACE,
Yep.
Business PACE program, day 2. So day 2, Jen, I hope you got this. What Teacher Rajiv wanted to emphasize is that we don't get impressed by the titles. It's not because somebody is a marketing graduate that they can already do what you expect them to do. So let us be clear with the tasks, the attitudes, the values, the capabilities, and not be impressed by the titles. And then when we are hiring, that's what we are still doing now, Teacher Rajiv. I'm very excited about this. It has helped us a lot to build our winning team. So we would always have a list of what are the things, the task, attitudes, values, capabilities, knowledge, skills that we need from the person whom we are trying to hire. We start with a list, and we even start with the questions. We don't just ask questions just because whatever comes into our mind, but we really have a list of questions to be able to identify those things that we're looking for in the person that we're trying to hire.
Yep.
Okay, so that was for Jen. And then May De Vera is saying, I'd love to attend, but I'm not available on that date. I think this is for Business PACE. So do you have plans to do it again?
As of now, no. The only reason I'm coming back to the Philippines is, number one, I have my existing community of clients like Mommy and many others who I haven't met post the pandemic. So I'm really looking forward to coming to the Philippines to meet my community of business owners who have benefited from our work, to meet them. And as a result of coming to the Philippines, a lot of our existing clients like Mommy and wanted us to do the Business PACE program again for them to refresh it, as well as for their family, friends who are business owners to attend and benefit from it. So I'm very grateful to the existing community of business owners who we have been working with to want us back in the Philippines. So all I would say is May 2nd to May 4th. That's the date I'm there. That's the date the Business PACE program is happening in Manila. So if I'm flying in from India, you come in from any island in the Philippines, but be there and see if you have something else that is stopping you, see if you can do that on another date, because May 2nd, 3rd and 4th is the only date that the Business PACE program is happening in the Philippines.
Right. And Teacher Rajiv is going all around the world to deliver the Business PACE program and other programs as well. So try to catch it. And for those who are watching us now, I would really try to convince you to attend it with the people you love, with the people who are probably your spouse, your business partners, your children, because it will give you a common language. They will understand and support you in what you are trying to do because they have heard it themselves. Instead of just you attending and then you translating whatever you learned, it's big challenge to be able to do that. It's not easy to be teaching even your children the things that Teacher Rajiv will be teaching in the Business PACE program. Okay.
I remember Mommy and you were there with 6 of you were there together?
Yeah, all my kids, because I don't want them to think that I'm crazy when I say I want this to be done, this. So I brought everyone there. Okay, you try to listen to Teacher Rajiv, and then you tell me if you want us to join the higher level program, if you really want to implement everything that I have heard from the Business Breakthrough seminar. It was only a 1-hour thing that you gave, but yeah, it opened up a possibility for me, because before I heard you talk, I've been listening to white people from the US, people from everywhere, but nobody was able to present the roadmap to me as clearly as you did.
Thank you.
So I was telling them, why do we have to listen to people from the West when people here in Asia have the same experience, we have similar cultures, and what you went through, we could also learn from you. And that is why I started following you from that time on. Okay, how about hiring people with no experience? Adla is asking, is that ideal?
So consider this, that for certain roles, you can hire people with no prior experience. Anywhere where you feel that a person does not need to have existing skills and knowledge, and the skills and knowledge is something that you can train them for, it's okay to hire freshers. And the way I would look at it is that, look, traditional academic institutions fail today to prepare candidates for jobs.
Right.
So pretty much anybody you as a business hire as a fresher, you got to have a training phase in place for them. So the advantage of hiring a fresher is that they're easy to mold, they're easy to develop, they're easy to groom, they're easy to align in the value system that you want them to work in. But if there is a part of your business or a role in your business where you are struggling, working, where you don't have the knowledge and skills yourself. In that kind of a role, I wouldn't advise hiring a fresher because you are not in a position to give them guidance. You will need an experienced candidate for that particular role, or somebody who has a track record of results playing a similar role in a similar business in the industry. So freshers is great. They come at a lower price point. They are more open to learning, but it will require a commitment from your side to invest time to mentor these freshers. You can't just hire them and leave them orphaned in your workplace. You got to handhold them and mentor them and guide them.
Okay, I hope that was clear. Okay, so next is still on hiring. Melissa is asking if it is okay to hire relatives for her business.
So I have a simple rule. If you can't fire a person, don't hire them.
I totally agree.
Which means, I'll give you a personal example. My own sister works in one of my businesses. Okay. My cousin brother works in one of my businesses. But the context set for them was, hey, while we are hiring you, okay, there's an advantage of bringing your own family and friends into the business because trust is established. But the reason for hiring is not purely trust. When you're hiring even a family member or a friend, you need to hire them because they have the skills for the job role. If they don't have the skills for the job role and you're hiring them purely because you can trust them, these people will become the bottleneck of that department in the business. And you need to also communicate this clearly, saying that if you're my family or if you're my friend and I'm giving you a job, at the workplace, you're not my family and friend. At the workplace, you're a team member. You're just like any other team member, which means the same rules, same policies, same accountability applies even to you. And if they are not comfortable with that, you shouldn't hire them. And if you're not comfortable with, God forbid, there comes a day that you feel they don't fit into the job role and you're not comfortable in firing them, then you should not hire them. So it's okay to hire people who you know, your relatives, your friends, your family, but hire them for talent, not for trust. And be willing to fire them if they violate talent and trust.
That's powerful, okay? Hire for talent and not for trust, okay? And this is a very common. The next one, Teacher Rajiv, is a question from Jan. Jan is saying that if finances are already an issue, what should you do first? Do you create the system or hire the right people first?
The way I would see it, Jan, is before you bring in any person on the team, you need to have a system and a process of what they will do that will produce the result in their role. Like, for example, if I'm hiring a marketing executive, I need to know exactly what I expect that person to do, and I need to have the system that they need to follow to produce the result of generating leads for the business. But if I'm going to hire them without having the process, without having the system, and I'm going to expect them to come up with the solution of how to generate leads, they're going to look at me for the answers. I'm going to look at them for the answers. It's going to be two blind men trying to find out the route map to a destination. Not going to help anybody. So the key is you need to have a process in place, a system in place, at least defined as to what you expect the person to do, which will produce a result. Then you got to bring in people. Now, if finances are an issue, what I always say to business owners is hire one person at a time, one department at a time. I am not expecting you to mass hire a person for marketing, sales, operations, accounts, human resources tomorrow morning if you are financially struggling. But I want you to have the mindset of hiring. And that's the bigger challenge. Most business owners who are struggling don't have the mindset of hiring because they look at it as an expense. Got to remember this. Hiring is an expense only for those business owners who hire incapable people because of their own incapability in hiring. When you don't know how to hire the right person, you hire the wrong person and you're paying them salary while you are doing the work of that person. That's when your heart burns. That's when your head aches. So do not have this aversion to hiring. Even if you don't have the money, your focus needs to be is who is the next person I can hire who can simplify my life, who can make sure a part of the work that I am doing is delegated to them so I can focus more on growth activities rather than survival activities. So hire one person at a time, one department at a time. Now, if you tell me you don't even have the money to afford one person's salary, then the only question I will ask is what are you doing under marketing and sales activities on an everyday basis? Because there is no way that a business cannot afford even one person's salary if you are doing something in marketing and sales. So you got to start with money generating activities, with income generating activities. Make your money one step at a time, hire a person, one department at a time, one role at a time. So that's how you build a business. Nobody starts with a heavy investment, especially as a micro, small, medium enterprise business owner.
That's powerful, right? Now you know where to start. So if finances are really a problem, then start hiring just one person at a time. But if you cannot hire, then marketing and sales sales is something that you need to focus on. And those are lessons that we really learn in the business space program. And we actually had that problem before, but now those are no longer our problem. Those have been addressed already after we hired the right people. Okay, Arthur is asking, how about when you are just starting a pastry business and starting and planning to have a store and a team? Does he start already planning to have a store and a team when just starting in the pastry business?
So it really depends on the model you want to build. If Arthur, your vision is to build, let's just say, a franchise model where you have multiple stores in different parts of the Philippines, then start with a store. But if you feel that, look, I don't want to invest money on retail spaces and there is enough of a demand where people can hire pastries and cakes for special occasions, then if I were you, I would do a lot of Instagram and TikTok and Facebook content around various flavors of making different creative pastries and cakes. And I would take orders from people through WhatsApp, through online reach out. And I'll just have a cloud kitchen where it's not a front end store, but a back end kitchen from where I'm producing and I'm selling pastries and cakes. So it really depends on your vision. I've had people starting a food business through a cloud kitchen initially because they want to kind of keep the costs lower. They want to build a goodwill. They want to build loyalty about their product in the market. And then they've launched a restaurant, or then they've launched a cafe or a pastry shop. So it depends on your vision. It depends on your resources.
Yeah. So what is your intention? And that's what will be your basis on deciding for the next steps, Arthur. I hope that answered your question. Okay. So here I have a question from Victor Yu. He is asking about how do you delegate tasks that contain secret recipes of the business?
So one of the things that a lot of business owners get stuck in is the fear of, what if I delegate work and my team members learn everything? So let me ask you something. Say you have a secret recipe. Say you're in the food business. You have this special recipe that you make. Do you think you're the only one with a special recipe on the planet? Definitely not. Are there food businesses that have built scalable, profitable brands and enterprises by being able to have multiple location presence? Yes, there are. I mean, if I'm not wrong, Jollibee is a brand that comes out of Philippines, right?
Yeah.
Now, imagine the owner of Jollibee had the mindset saying, my secret chicken recipe, I can't share it with anybody. Then would the world know Jollibee? Nobody would know Jollibee, right? I mean, it would be a single restaurant in one place where the kitchen is run by the business owner himself. So the real question you need to ask yourself, Victor, is what's the vision? Is the vision to scale? Is the vision to grow? Then remember, you got to let go to grow. You can't hold on to everything that I need to know everything, I need to do everything. And you need to back yourself in your execution. Will people copy your ideas? Yes. Will people copy your content if you do content online? Yes. Will people copy your recipes if you make some amazing food? Yes. Will people try to copy and emulate everything you do? Yes. But because of the fear that people may copy what I'm doing, if you're going to play small, you are any which way killing your business. So I always talk about what's your appetite as an entrepreneur. Is your appetite as a business owner to grow and scale? Then you can't live under these minuscule fears of what if things get copied or plagiarized or my secrets go out in the market. I mean, whatever you can protect through intellectual property laws, you can go ahead and protect. Your content, your logo, your name, your recipes, whatever you can patent, you can copyright, go ahead and do it. But over and beyond that, don't let that be the limitation why you're not scaling your business. Don't let that be the reason why you are doing everything by yourself. That's a bigger cost.
So, yeah, I hope you got that, right? And this next question is from Annalyn Angeles Narvasa. She says that we are into an office and school supplies business. How can we be different among the others from the same line of business?
So when it comes to, considering you're in an office and school supplies business, Annalyn, it's a B2B business, right? And as a B2B business, what you need to understand is it's the quality of relationships you have with decision makers in those offices and in those schools. Now, the way for you to really build a relationship which is deeper and different from any other supplier is one of the things I would recommend to you would be to probably start a podcast show and start interviewing decision makers of your target customers. Because think about it, people who are facility managers or administration managers in offices and schools, nobody covers their stories, their journeys, their aspirations, their career path. If I were you, I would do a podcast show saying silent heroes. And I would interview these people who work in admin departments of large offices, departments of schools, who are my target customers, to build a relationship, to be able to use their experience to educate aspiring people in that particular career line. And the fact that I bring them on a podcast show and I highlight their journey and give them a voice, that itself will build a very, very special sense of bond and gratitude that they will have towards me. So that would be one thing that I would definitely do if I were you.
So yes, teacher Rajiv mentioned about B2B and B2C businesses. You will learn more about that in the Business Breakthrough seminar and also in the Business Pace program. There are different ways of scaling and growing the two kinds of businesses. Okay, I still have a lot of questions here, but some are very general, like what would be the best strategy for starting a lending business? This is from Fares Pares. Is this something that they can learn in the Business Breakthrough seminar?
So far as about a lending business, you need to do two things. I have seen a lot of lending business go out of business because they made one mistake where they've not defined the criteria of due diligence before they lend money to a person. The lending business, it's not about how many customers can I get. It's truly about how many credible customers can I get who will repay the money that I'm lending out in the market. So defining your evaluation and due diligence process. And second thing is defining your risk appetite and knowing when to draw a stop loss beyond which you will not irrationally lend money. These are two things that I would do if I was building a lending business that I would ask you to focus on. You will see a lot of other lending businesses around you take a higher risk and give out to people even though the due diligence process reveals that those people may not have the required credibility to be able to repay that money. Just sort of greed and desire to capture the market. I wouldn't play the game of greed in a lending business. I would be a conservative person in a lending business because I want to play the long-term game, not the short-term game of quick returns. So that's how I would see it.
I remember a friend, Teacher Rajiv, telling me that a lending business is not a lending business. It is a collection business.
Absolutely.
So focus on collecting and not lending out to as many people as you can.
When you lend me, everybody wants to take it from you. But the question is, do they want to return it back?
Right. Thank you for that. Okay. What can you say about risk, Teacher Rajiv? Amber here is asking, if a person is planning to open a mini grocery, is it okay to take the risk on paying a high amount for renting a space? Is it about risk really, Teacher Rajiv?
Amber, the way I would see it is I would take that risk if I get a stellar location. Where if I am in a prime location with a great parking facility, with a great spot where I know the footfall is going to be high, then I would not call that a risk. I would call that an investment. But say, for example, in a location where the model has to be proven that will there be footfall of people, and then I am still being hopeful and optimistic even though there's no proven case of footfall in that particular location, and I'm just investing money, that I don't even call that risk. I call that stupidity because you cannot be irrational in your decisions. So having said that, I always say this to business owners that what is risk? Risk is the ability to do things that will move you towards your goals. So firstly, ask yourself, by doing whatever you are evaluating as a decision, will it move you towards your goals? If it will, then take that risk. Like if you feel hiring a person will move you towards your goals, make your life simpler, take that risk, hire a person. If you feel attending a program, investing in learning will help you improve your capabilities and help you move towards your goal, take that risk, attend that program. If you feel marketing on Facebook or going online will help you grow your business and help you achieve your goals, take that risk. Anything that will help you move towards your goals, do it. That's a great risk to take. Anything that keeps you outside, anything that puts you back in your comfort zone, that is dangerous. And that is what most business owners need to be aware to. Like if you're making decisions that will keep you in your comfort zone, then nothing changes. That is most risk.
Yeah. Staying small is actually a bigger risk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you will get eaten up by the big ones. Okay. So there are still more questions, but I think we're running out of time. So what I would want to convince everyone is please attend the Business Breakthrough Seminar. It is free. And I'd like my team to post the link again, the Business Breakthrough Seminar by my teacher Rajiv Talreja. Okay, so Teacher Rajiv, we've gained so many valuable insights today. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. And before we end, do you have any final words of wisdom for our viewers?
The final words of wisdom would be attend the Business Breakthrough Seminar and then register for the 3-day Business Pace program. I say this putting my integrity on the line that those 3 days will truly transform your business. I genuinely believe that micro, small and medium enterprise business owners need a system to grow their business. And over the last 9 years, we've had more than 60,000 business owners attend and benefit from this 3-day business space program where we create systems, we create strategies. So make sure you're there. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you in the Philippines. I'm going to be in Manila on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of May, doing the business space program in the Philippines. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be close to the City of Dreams. That's when the Galileo Events Hall is. So register right now because we have limited seats, and I'll see you there. Remember this, that the more you grow, the more your business grows. So grow yourself and commit to that learning process.
Yeah, and I promise you, you will not regret it because I am one of the very satisfied customers or students of Teacher Rajiv, and I will gladly attend it again and again. Okay, so thank you so much, Teacher Rajiv. It's been an absolute honor to have you here today. I'm excited to meet you again in person on May the 2nd. Yeah.
Thank you, Mommy, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. And I'm so moved today to see what you've been able to build and how you're giving back to the community of business owners in the Philippines. So big thank you to you for being an inspiration.
Thank you. So, okay. To all our viewers, thank you for watching. Remember to sign up for our free newsletter and starter kit at mommynegosyo.com. Also, sign up for the Business Breakthrough Seminar, the 4-hour Business Breakthrough Seminar, as well as the Business Space Program on May 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so if you found this session valuable, join us again next Tuesday. And on April 8th, next Tuesday, we will be back to our regular schedule of 3 p.m. And for next week, we will be having Miss Diana Jane Mitchell, also known as HR Diana in TikTok, for another episode of Meet My Friends series. HR Diana will be talking about how small online shops can act like big companies. So register early so that you can join us in Zoom. All right? So thank you everyone and keep shining. Bye!